So should we talk about the fact that we just DM'd Shmi and Street Speed, and so we're hosting this open track day, not open track day. We're hosting a track day at Milton Motorsports, Milton
Private.
Ford, private track day, and we're looking to try to get a couple of YouTubers that want to get on Road America.
We already have Billy Johnson committed to coming.
That's right.
He raced for Le Mans. He's done some NASCAR stuff. He's
Right.
been in the game. He helped develop the Ford GT, the GT350, the GT500.
He can coach.
Yeah, so he's
Hopefully.
going to come and help coach. That's what the main
Push,
goal is.
push me into the teens.
Push everybody. We'll be there by the time. We'll be there before then, but
and-
just even deeper.
Right. But we know that Shmi, you said this, Shmi and Street Speed, they all watch this
Oh, 100%.
podcast, I'm sure. So
You know
this
what?
is a call out to them if they're interested in
I
an
think they
open
spend
track
more
day.
time watching our podcast than they do the DMs.
Yeah, exactly. True. But open track day, private track day, I should say, no more than 15, 20 cars, right? We're
Right.
hoping.
Yeah.
So we can have some fun with them. But we decided to jump on this quick podcast here. Won't be a long one,
No.
maybe 10, 15 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe. We just got back from Road America last
Yeah.
couple days, running with Nord Stern Porsche Club of America.
It was a good one.
It's a good one, right?
Yeah, it was really like the way they set it up. Like I think it all started from like the atmosphere that they created when they had the meeting, the safety meeting. It was like everybody there was experienced. They didn't have any like first time
No,
beginners.
right.
So they had an expectation for everybody that we understood what we're doing, how we're doing, and if we're advanced, we need to be advanced and all that stuff. So, and I've thought that they had it set up really good how they divided it out. They kind of called out the Caymans and
Well, it was a Porsche Club event, which is
yes,
interesting because
yes.
usually the regular events, they're calling out the Miatas.
Mustangs and
They're
the Mustangs, Miatas.
Right.
Yeah,
they're calling
exactly.
out but since it was a Porsche Club event, which is not just Porsches,
No.
they called out the
Caymans are like, yeah, watch out for the 911s and all the
Yes.
RSs and cup cars. So what they ended up doing, though, there's so many advanced people, they put the RSs, which was us, in the cup cars and like the fast group. So it was kind of cool.
They went by horse. They kind of went by speed and horsepower.
They
track
said speed,
time.
horsepower, and then RSs because they know
Right.
that our technically low horsepower can outkick their coverage.
Right.
I mean, we have a Ford, like a Mustang GTD trying to do what my 2019 3RS did.
Right.
So
Exactly.
It's kind of
But
funny.
I thought Nord Stern did a nice job even during the sign up. Like they didn't base everything on times, but they did ask. Not every club asked for times.
Correct. Right.
And then we got a little nervous because as we got closer, they had a big turnout, and they were concerned that they had too many cars in the advanced group. So they, to your point, they kind of reshuffled them around, and we were a bit anxious. And so I don't know if there ended up being 25, 30 cars in the advanced group. But, you and I, we always like to get out early, kind of
Yep.
lead the pack, feel like we get more open track. So we didn't see the line behind us, but everybody was running.
Fast, except for there was one C8 that we
Yeah, no,
caught
I
every
got it.
single time.
But the second day, I think they moved him.
No, he was in there.
Really?
I caught him in the last session.
Yeah, he didn't belong there.
No,
He didn't belong
like
there.
know
And
how to
no
point and
offense to him,
stuff.
he
But
just
yeah,
didn't belong there. I mean, it was
Yeah.
noticeably different.
I mean that was probably 15 seconds of lap time difference
Yeah.
than what we were running for
Yeah.
sure.
But I think-
let alone like the courtesy and like when you're in the advanced group, like you don't like the whole
Expectation.
expectation is that you're not slowing the person down behind you on a lap.
Right.
Like you have to sometimes you have to give it up. And the worst is when you're going around 14 and stuff, you have to give up and slow down because you're ruining 2 laps.
Right.
And we're always out. I'm
Right.
not going to lie. We're out there to get the fastest lap possible.
Right. We're always trying to set our own personal bests.
Yeah. So, you got to choose your right spots.
That's a great way to put it, though. I think when people think about moving up to the more of an advanced group, for those out there that do this, I think the biggest thing is it's speed. Yeah. Okay. Time. But more importantly, I think it's the courtesy on the track and being able to understand how to drive both looking forward as well as looking backwards. Because, yeah, you said it well. Like, you don't want to wreck the person. If someone's coming up behind you faster, they're faster.
Right.
And let them pass. And there's an art or skill to letting them pass giving them the line, passing at the right time, planning it so you see them coming to where I'm going to make it to this point so I can then pull over.
Yep.
Pull over meaning
You're trying to
let up. You're not pulling off the track. You're just
Right.
letting up in a place where they can keep their line and not blow their lap.
And you're just like, it's also a calculating thing. And
Yes.
this is where I think when they look at lap times, like it's easy to go out and do a lap time without worrying if someone's in back. But like when you got to watch your mirror, realizing how fast they're closing, still hit the apex and do a full lap, and trying to navigate that. Once you have to start thinking about more than one or two things, like the non-advanced and don't have a lot of that, you start having to process that stuff. They end up driving their car in the mirrors.
Yes. They missed their turn.
I would say that's probably, I mean, that's got to be 80% of the crashes in HPD stuff. Is trying to outdrive, trying to keep up more, say, with the people catching you and just driving their cars.
Catching you more, but your point, as well as thinking, which is and I'm sure you feel the same way, scary is like, okay, we know how our cars break.
Yeah.
Cars break in all different ways. Some are modified, some aren't. But we know on the Porsche RS cars, the braking zone that you can get away with is insane.
Right.
Like
I'm at the 200-foot mark.
That's like at 150 miles per hour or whatever.
Downhill.
Now, if I got some dude in the back and I had this happen in a M3, competition, not modified, 2021, he's like, I'm going to brake with this RS. You're like, this guy's going to fucking run into me.
So you end
He's going to run into me.
So you end up braking like slower because you don't want them, and then you're missing the turn because you don't want, because if you hit the brakes or
if he tries to brake with it, he's going right through me.
Yes.
like that's insane.
Oh, yeah. But on the other side, I love following, like, even I felt I was out braking a lot of the GT4 Club Sports and stuff with the carbon brakes on my RS. It's fun, like, knowing that I can brake.
You can close the gap. Or
but then I can be Mr. Because if you've been on track with me and you're in front of me, you'll know it because I'm.
If you're not courteous.
It's not much of a jet, but I'm there. Like I'm going to make it uncomfortable if it's if you're not letting me by.
Right, if you're not letting you by.
I've been held like we could probably put the video that I put it on Instagram, the Ferrari guy at Coda.
Oh yeah, he was not letting anyone by.
But he was frustrated. I had to get in his business and show him, hey, this is where here I am.
Yes.
Let me by. And it's like, again, they have a fast car in the straights. They can't drive in the corners or the car is incapable. And then it's not about how fast it goes accelerating. I mean, I had the 500. That was really fast, but I could corner too. But if someone's behind you, I don't care where on the track, they're there because they're faster than you.
Yeah, they are. And I think the art of timing it without disrupting your lap. Like if we're coming through 7, we had the cup cars. I had a cup car. One guy sent me a little message, but I just wasn't. It was a kink, so I had no choice. But like I'll see them come, and the cup car was approaching. Like we're coming down 5, at least way back. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to get all the way to past the kink, and I'm going to let them pass me. Like that's how far out.
Yes.
I know I can close, at least maintain that distance to get to a safer place for him to pass. But that
carousel, those things are fast.
Yeah. You know that's where he's closing all that
gap.
That gap. But I thought Porsche, do you think they ran a nice event?
Yeah.
I thought it's one of the best, right?
We run a lot of events. We try different ones, but like there's, I would say a few, like Northwood Shelby, we always go back. I think Nord Stern's definitely going to be a repeat for next year because that was a good group. And we've had some bad, like, not going to lie, there's some bad groups we've run with. And I always like to give feedback, and that's just who I am and how I am. And I've sent some feedback to certain people that run these events. And, one of the feedbacks was, and this other one was going, when I was in my Shelby, I was trying to get the 216, whatever. And they had a guy in a Passat it was an open track day HPDE, like literally advanced only. It said advanced only. Right. There was a Passat. I was going 180 miles an hour into turn 5, and there's a Passat sitting there over the hill.
Yes.
I literally it was the most dangerous thing ever. And I wasn't mean in my email, but I told them respectfully, it's like, hey, if you're gonna
identify what it is,
because it wasn't advanced either. No. The apex for the guy was not. It was unbelievable how terrible. But what I found out though is when he was giving the thing, he was saying he's like there's a lot of people that aren't getting into the sport, and we need to spread the word. It's no, people just are running from your events because it's run so poorly.
Right.
Because you are taking everybody's money. Because you can see some of these events where they're grabbing money.
Right.
Or actually setting up a proper group.
Right.
If you're trying to run these for money, you got to run from that organization.
Yeah, and well, to that point, the other thing, and in that we can remain nameless with that group that ran that. But at the end of the day, remember how many incidents we had
on that day
of just cars breaking down? Like how many did we have in Nord Stern? Maybe 1 or 2?
It was at the end of the day, and it was heat. It was 90 degrees,
and it was off the track. It was actually the guy was courteous enough. if he broke down oil, whatever,
into the grass.
he was off the track.
There was a guy from Arizona. But
Yeah.
he literally just got way
So
out
he
of the
knew,
way.
like, I'm getting off the track. I'm not going to right.
Yeah.
We had no disruptions
Dude, but at that other event, it was a chaos. It was literally like, I mean, there was cars wrecked, like literally just like yard sale of parts.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, part of it's just having the wrong drivers mixed in and people trying to make these quick
wrong
runs
drivers
and stuff like that.
Or you're
And some of
running
these
on a
cars-
hard day with a hard track, open track, and the person doesn't realize, oh, I can just run my, janked, making up Passat or Camaro or any
whatever
car,
it is.
but fill in the bank that they built in their garage, and don't realize that the thing's gonna blow up, at the end of the day, and then you wreck the whole day for everybody.
That was that day. It was the closest I came to totaling a car. I was in my Mustang coming into 5.
Someone else's car.
Well, one car blew up, dropped the oil. The GT3 hit the oil patch.
Yes.
Going into 5. Yard sailed it.
Yes.
Then one of our other friends, we'll leave him on.
Yes.
Goes down there.
He
He
had no-
stopped.
yeah.
He stopped in the middle of the track, which is not the best thing to do.
Right.
But hey, it happens.
Yeah, I mean,
But like we learned from that stuff. But I'm coming over the hill again, 170. The flagger hasn't that should be an instant black flag.
right.
I come over the hill, and luckily I go a different line into 5 than anybody. If you watch
Yeah,
my
you're
lines,
more on the
I'm more on the
inside.
inside,
Yeah,
and whatever. I just like it.
Yeah.
But like, I partially hit. I slammed on the brakes because I saw just a wrecked car. It looked like a crushed soda can, and I saw dead stopped in the middle of it.
Right. Because it was because he was trying to navigate.
I
through
literally,
the spot.
and he told me I was sideways at hitting the brakes. I hit the coolant. I'm sideways, literally coming in, and I'm looking out my passenger door. I'm like, this is how it's going to end. But luckily, I got it stopped before.
Right.
But holy.
That's it made for a good.
So
video.
don't stop on track if there's an incident. Drive through the parts.
Don't stop
'cause
and don't drive backwards.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a good
Get off the
recipe.
track. Get off the
Get
track
off the
as fast
track.
as you can.
Exactly.
But yeah, I thought to get back to this past couple of days, the fact that they broke the groups up, reworked them from a speed, power, skill, truly. But everybody there, I think, was, majority were advanced. We were running anywhere from, I think the group in total, like maybe 227 to high teens. But everybody was doing that. So it was like when we went out, you had a couple cup cars for me, past me, but which they were doing 14s and 16s. But other than that, I felt like I was the only one on the track.
Right.
Because everybody was spaced out.
Yeah, definitely.
Evenly, kind of. 2 seconds on that track when it's a 2.5 minute, 2:20, lap time, you're not lapping people. I mean, you're not making up a lot of distances.
And I can say that other event where it was chaos before, I don't think I got a single full lap that day.
Because you had people in 240s.
50s maybe.
Or 50s,
Like
right.
literally,
20, 30 seconds.
You can't run a car that's right. And I'd say that's what I had. My feedback was like, hey, you can't have people that you just say, I'm running 218s and people running 250s. I mean, that's 3 laps. And I mean, it's like we're already here. I'm back.
Right. But going back to that, so think about that for a second. Now, the number of cars at Road America, you can find yourself coming back up the straight and people still, like the lazy folks that don't get out right away are getting on, and that's causes chaos. But the cup car guys who came over and talked to us, they were thanking us, not thanking us. We were just talking. We were interested in the cars. You and I were thinking about cup cars. But at the end of the day, they were impressed with how we were driving, and we weren't slowing it. We were courteous, letting them have their hammer laps. I was, at least. I know you were too. But at the end of the day, they said to us, one of their tricks, which I thought was funny, was they go out in the first 2.
Yes.
And then they scrub you're not supposed to scrub
yellow, but
on the yellow, and they go slow as shit.
So they box it. So they back everybody up.
Back everybody up.
And,
Dude, we're gonna do that.
100%. That's a good tactic.
Yes. So you yellow. I'm just gonna cruise, no passing. Screw you guys.
Yeah. Just then send
and
it.
you're a bunch the whole group up behind you, and then you have a whole on the green
free
drop.
Done.
Boom. It's like a NASCAR or
Turn
Indy
14,
race.
send it. Yes, full send.
Slowing the whole field down, and then
F1,
wave the flag.
they do the same thing. Control the speed of the pack.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because that actually, and it was funny. They purposely do. He actually said, no, we slow the whole pack down, and then we have a couple laps of open track because 2.5 minutes it takes some time to catch everybody.
Yeah, because I had some other events, like when I was really dialed in to get my teens last year, it's like it was just so frustrating because I knew I could do it if I just had a free lap. And I
Right.
can't tell you how many times I come across 14 perfect exit up